Let me dance around where you be, and watch and feel as your wind brushes me. To move the air I inhabit, I be in it, nearing the happening as the happening. It's purple and orange and black and brown and blue and free and true. You, too, are as you should be, and I could only be another if you danced a little more distantly away. Being not so benevolent in shaping and born of air and spirit and words of nectar and ambrosia, telling me meta to linguistics, you demand a certain palate. So this I witness and take in and take part as audience and student to you, your being with my new self, along with the old ancestor, made to music you play while moving as spirit in human cloth. Real Lyric is an ode to people that I consider having impacted my social sense of self. It's a visual metaphor, and it's my intent. I hope that the outcome suggests or invokes or compels one to reflect. Um, I work linguistically through illustrative means. And what I mean by that is that when interpreting the images, there's always a reflection of myself. And that's pretty literal in a sense. When I look at other people, their space, where they are, where they exist, I see myself. I see someone like me. I see someone of me, and someone who um, I'm a part of as well. And this semester, of course, marks a change in most of our series, due to the fact that we've had to progress and we've had to come up with new ideas that better bring us closer to our concept, the end for all intents and purposes. And so I went through a couple of different technical ideas, um, changing things so that I can get closer to the pictures in my head, the overtones, which are so important for all of us. It has to feel, not only look um, great to other people, but it has to it has to really speak the language that we want it to speak. It has to have those accents, and so we're trying to find the way to get there. I like these images. They were pretty similar in light to the outside images that I took on my first during the midpoint review, the first phase of this project, and I liked it. I still like this light, and I think that I think the series itself should have uh, a certain level of progress built into it. Um, but at the same time, after doing so many images, we'll see. I may gravitate toward the more accented qualities of light. But this work here, this image was just a bare bulb, and so I was just trying to light the environment rather than light people. And so this image though was of course different. I started accenting, spotlighting using grids. At least two lights. It's really at least three lights because I have to light myself separately also within the mirror. And so that happens, but then there are other things going on as well. But um, I liked where I was going, but the problem is that and not so much more because I think I've kind of moved forward. But when we start to make choices, technically, we have to keep the spirit of the concept alive, especially with my work, because my work a lot of times has to do with a certain culture, a certain ethnic under or undertones, um, and so I really want to make sure that I have that there. And sometimes it's louder. Sometimes, the lighting and the emotional climate is important. So those things that have the ability to speak to the viewer without um, explanation, it's hard to put those things, to employ those things, and keep the overall feel of compassion or something along those lines. Uh, so I was kind of plugging away and making these images, and I think that they really are alive, um, and I think that a lot of that has to do with rapport. But the air, though, is something that was missing, and I was it was something spiritual, I think, to me, that had been missing, and I was trying to figure out how to get there. And I think largely a lot of it had to do with the quality of light. And I like the light, I like the dimension, there's volume there. But I really wanted to continue to kind of push to get closer. And also to kind of strengthen my composition. Like in this image, this particular image, I don't like the composition so much. I mean, it's kind of heavy to the right, and I don't have too much of a problem with it actually, but it just could have been better, and I think that with all of us, we have our ways of doing work, and we want to be as we want the work to be as great as it can be. So this image built on that last image really, and those prior images, and so it was a little bit more considerate. I started thinking about the reflection itself, and I like how the reflection starts to drop off, starts to kind of the details start to melt, and it gives the reflection itself some a spiritual quality. Uh, Without necessarily kind of being different and being set apart from the rest of the images. And this is again a different light setup, but of course because of where the light was set up, placed, and because of the size of it, it's very soft. But it starts to fall off, and I think that that's largely what I'm looking for. Um, I didn't necessarily like the reflection in this one, but you know, um, I think I think it's okay, But I hope to make better images. But this was the last image before the following shoot of two images. I know we were supposed to only add one, but I wanted to add two new images because this shoot really touched me. It spoke to me, not only because of the artifacts in their home, but I started kind of making a conscious effort to let more ambient light in, work with more ambient light. This On this particular image, I had a light outside, but it was sunny outside also, so that kind of the ambient and the strobe worked together and gave me an opportunity to kind of let more light in, and it was really nice. I liked it, and so I like this image because of the artifacts, because of some of how artifacts can be symbols for where it is that I'm trying to go, what it is that I'm trying to convey, and not just that, but the expressions of the subjects as well. So we I made some made some progress. So I really like this image. I like the what it did to the forms in it. And a lot of it having to do with that wall behind the subjects. And this is another one. This is the last one. This was a couple. one of my friends' parents, and they were great. They're beautiful people, and they had a great space. One of the I made a couple decisions after this shoot, however, which kind of points to where I'm going from here. One is I was using 100 um, ISO film, and I decided to go up to 400 and Ilford Delta uh, from the Ilford Delta 100 that I was using. So I'm doing that, and then I put a medium. I'm using a medium format camera, but I put a wide angle lens on it. And two, this was my first time really pushing as much as I could, and ironing out some problems. Really, I found out what some of the problems were. Working with ambient light, creating that reflection on the the picture, and so for that reason, it really started to bring off a more spiritual quality. So I'm really happy with this image, as well as the last one also. And so I think that things are starting to come together. I'm starting to be a lot more dynamic in setting up the shots, which I think is important, and that everybody starts to do or starts to understand with practice. And so I think that that's where I'm going. And so I'm hoping to iron out some things. And this summer is really big because I hope to make enough images to where I can begin printing in the fall and just concentrate on printing because there are a couple of options that I have with kind of how I want to print as well. So going forward, I hope to iron that out, meet new people, just spread more love, because I think that there's a performance element to making photographs of people, sharing thoughts and spending time with people. And so it's really a matter of learning new things, learning new people. And so I look forward to it. I really appreciate the process.